Now, for those of you that aren't really familiar with eBay, let's talk about what it is. And first off, we'll talk about what everybody thinks that it is. Most people out in the world, if you say, I need to pick this up, I'm going to go on eBay, it's because they think that eBay is the world's largest garage sale. They think it's a place where they can go, do some shopping, find good deals on a bunch of used stuff, maybe even new stuff. Okay, but they perceive it as a very big garage sale or maybe even a flea market. This is the mentality that I don't want you to have. Okay, because a lot of the sellers out there, that's what they're thinking of it as. People start out usually and they say, okay, I'm going to try out this online eBay thing and make some money, make a little pocket change or whatever. And they look for some stuff around their house and they start putting it on eBay. People buy it. They make a few dollars. So then what they do, if they keep going with that, is eventually they're going to run out of stuff in their house that they want to sell. So then they start going out and maybe they hit flea markets or they go to real live auctions and try to pick things up really cheap. Maybe they try to get to some garage sales. But incidentally, real physical garage sales, you'll notice they're starting to dwindle a little bit because people now, with eBay out there, people are a little less interested in having a garage sale and selling stuff because they know they can probably get more for it on eBay. So they're a little less willing to part with those items. But what happens when you move on to that step is things start to get a lot more complicated. You have to start dealing with, a lot more shipping, and you have to start dealing with how much I paid for this as opposed to what I'm going to get for it on eBay. And that's where a lot of people really honestly just bust right there because they're not profitable and they don't last very long. I want you, instead of thinking about eBay as the world's largest garage sale, I want you to think of it as the world's largest mall. A place that people can go and pretty much find whatever they're looking for, in one location. That's eBay. And then your eBay store, your place where your listings are, whatever that might be, and we're going to get into all that later on, whatever that might be, that's like one store in that mall. And this is really what you're dealing with. You're dealing with, millions of people that have come to the mall and they're walking around. You need to be able to get them to come into your store where your listings are at so they can see what you've got to offer. That's the mentality that you want. You want from the very beginning to have not a hobby mindset, but I'm building a business. Okay, so that's what I want you to say to yourself. I am building a business. Now, what eBay is, let's go ahead and talk about some of the listings and what types of listings there are out there. And I'll just explain this really quickly. Again, for those that don't know, eBay is a website where people can go, they can sell things, and then buyers come and they do searches for the things that they're looking for, right? They do a search for it, and then if they see something on there, there'll be usually a whole lot of listings for what they're searching for. They'll click on them, go through them, kind of pick things out. And then if they find something that they like, they will bid on it. This is called an auction listing. So they might go there, they might start the bid for $1. So they bid on it, and the listing typically lasts any number of days, like 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, even 10 days. They used to have one-day listings, but I believe they were having a lot of fraud with that, so they pulled those. But it'll list for 3, 5, 7, or 10 days. So somebody posts something today, and let's say they put it on a 7-day listing. That means for the next 7 days, people will be able to search for and find that particular item. Then they can bid on it. At the end of the 7 days, the highest bidder gets the product, no matter what it's bid at. Typically, if they did not put a reserve price in there, they win that item. Now, a fixed price listing is where I've got an item that I want to sell at a specific value. So everything else is the same as far as how the auction looks and how the way everything works and all that, except for one thing. Nobody bids on it. I just put, here is the price for this item. You can either pay that price and get the item or don't get it, move on. And then we have a best offer listing. This is kind of a combination. With this, I've got a certain amount of money that I really want to get for that item, so I set that amount. But people also can make offers, almost like they're bidding on it. So then at the end of the time, at the end of the listing time there, if nobody paid me that amount that I wanted, if nobody agreed to pay that, then I can go through and I can say, okay, this person right here was the highest offer, so I can contact them and say, the listing didn't sell, you were my highest bidder, I'll go ahead and sell it to you for that price. Now, there are other listing types, but we're not going to complicate things right now with that. These are the three that you'll be dealing with right away, and the three that you're going to be most familiar with anyhow.